Maple Street, land of manicured lawns and two-car garages. A place where everyone knows everyone and the biggest excitement is the annual block party. But lately, something strange was happening, something spooky, whispers of a ghost. The air was thick with unease as the sun dipped below the horizon. A masked phantom, they called it. People were freaking out. The once peaceful nights were now filled with fear and speculation.
Mrs. Higgins, queen of the neighborhood watch, swore she saw it. Her eyes wide with terror, she recounted the tale to anyone who would listen. Floating through her prize-winning rose bushes, she said it moved like a shadow, silent and swift.
Little Timmy Henderson? He wouldn't go near the mailbox after sunset. His friends teased him, but he stood firm. Said the ghost stole his baseball cap. He was convinced it was real, and his fear was contagious.
The rumors flew faster than a squirrel on a sugar rush. Every shadow seemed sinister, every noise amplified. Was it real or just teenagers with too much time on their hands? The debate raged on, with no clear answer in sight. Whatever it was, Maple Street was in for a wild ride. The mystery deepened, and the once quiet suburb was now the talk of the town. Bertha clutched her grocery bags, her knuckles white from the tight grip. She had heard the stories, the whispers of a ghostly presence in the park. Her heart pounding like a drum solo, she quickened her pace, eyes darting around nervously. She just wanted to get home and watch her soaps, to sink into the comfort of her couch and forget the world outside. But the park was between her and her comfy couch, a shortcut she had taken countless times before. The park where the ghost liked to hang out, or so the local legend said. She shivered at the thought.
Suddenly, a figure leapt from the bushes. It was so sudden she barely had time to react. White sheet, creepy mask, the whole shebang. It was like something out of a horror movie. Bertha screamed, dropping her groceries in sheer terror. Her scream echoed through the empty park. Cans of soup rolled everywhere, creating a chaotic scene on the ground.
The figure let out a spooky wail, a sound that sent chills down her spine, then tripped over a cantaloupe, falling flat on its face. Bertha grabbed a can of creamed corn and brandished it like a weapon, her fear turning into anger.
"Get thee back, foul beast!" she yelled, her voice strong and unwavering.
The figure scrambled up and ran away, tripping over its own feet in its haste, leaving a trail of laughter in its wake, a haunting sound that lingered in the air long after it was gone. The park was deserted now, except for the remnants of Bertha's grocery disaster and two figures huddled on a bench. It was Gary and Brenda, the masterminds behind the Maple Street ghost.
"Did you see her face?" Gary wheezed, wiping tears from his eyes. "She almost took me out with that creamed corn."
Brenda doubled over, clutching her stomach. "We're legends," she gasped. "This is the best neighborhood prank ever."
They high-fived, their laughter echoing in the night, but they didn't see the shadow lurking behind the oak tree. The shadow of someone who wasn't laughing. The next day, the whole neighborhood was buzzing. The ghost had struck again. This time, it had left a clue, a rubber chicken, strategically placed on Mrs. Higgins' bird bath. What did it mean?
An emergency neighborhood meeting was called. Accusations flew like spitballs in a middle school cafeteria. Old Man Withers swore it was the neighbor's dog, dressed up for attention. Mrs. Higgins glared at her poodle, who was innocently licking its own behind.
Just when things couldn't get more chaotic, Gary and Brenda strolled in, looking smug.
"We have a confession," Gary announced, grinning. The room went silent.
Brenda held up a white sheet, the fabric fluttering gently in the breeze. The crowd gathered around her, eyes wide with anticipation, wondering what this peculiar display was all about.
"It was us," she declared with a triumphant smile. "We were the ghost!" The crowd gasped, murmurs spreading like wildfire as they processed this unexpected revelation.
The silence held for a beat, then erupted into uproar. Some people were angry, some were relieved, and some were just plain confused. The air was thick with a mix of emotions, each person reacting in their own way. Faces twisted in confusion, trying to make sense of the prank that had turned their quiet lives upside down.
"But why?" sputtered Mr. Henderson, clutching his chest as if the shock was too much to bear. "Why would you do this?" His voice trembled with a mix of bewilderment and curiosity.
Gary and Brenda exchanged a mischievous look, their eyes twinkling with the shared secret of their playful deception.
"We just wanted to liven things up around here," Brenda explained, her tone light and unapologetic. You know, add a little spice to the suburban stew. Life can get so monotonous, and we thought a little mystery would be fun.
The crowd stared at them, processing the audacity and creativity of the prank. Then, slowly, a smile spread across Mr. Henderson's face. It was contagious, spreading from one person to the next like a ripple in a pond. Soon the whole crowd was laughing, the tension dissolving into shared amusement. Even Mrs. Higgins, known for her stern demeanor, cracked a smile, her eyes twinkling with reluctant admiration. Maybe a little ghost hunting was just what Maple Street needed to break the monotony and bring everyone a little closer together.